one, and again, for most of Berlanga's career, this has been the only round. Marcelo Coceres, though, a rugged veteran, again, 32 with one draw. His signature bout was a challenge for one of the belts at 168, a WBO belt. He fought Billy Joe Saunders, who's a good boxer, and it was a competitive fight. Eventually, Coceres was knocked out 3 times in the final round. But do you expect a tougher fight here, Lennox?
Absolutely. Berlanga said he wanted to start off with his jab and use his jab a lot more. He's got a couple different jabs that he throws, and I was actually surprised he said he throws an up jab. And not many guys throw up jabs.
What's the up jab?
Up jab is like really a jab, but you turn it upside down.
What does that do?
It just gives you just a different angle for the guy to see. You know, nobody really throws up jabs, but when you throw it, the guy's surprised by it.
Now you throw an up jab?
Oh yeah, my up jab was different though. I started low. I would have it by my thigh, and I would just shoot it straight up. I would kind of stiff arm it. It just hits him under the chin where they can't see the punch.
You see the velocity on Berlanga's punches. And Andre, my question to you, again, you get a steady diet of Edgar Berlanga fights. We have not. My question to you was, do you like him or do you love him? Your answer.
Well, I love Berlanga. I love what he brings to the table physically, but also his charisma. He has the ability to walk in a room and capture a room and make everybody in the room feel special. He's got star power. He just has to continue to develop as a fighter and show the world that, yes, I can knock you out, but I can also box your ears off. And I'm more than just that.
Well, you can see he's able to put together his combinations. He just has incredible leverage. And again, I mentioned cartoonish power. Again, much like that, it was a little low right there for Berlanga. Robert Coyle gets in there, but kind of like another guy from Brooklyn, Mike Tyson, where, you know, in the early years, guys were leaving their feet. It was like a cartoon. Lennox, you put guys down and laid them out, but against Tyson, people would leave their feet, take air.
Oh yeah, you know, when you're short and your gravity is closer to the ground.
You can put them up in the air. I got you. You can only put them down at 6'6".
But, you know, Mike Tyson's legs were big. He had big, strong legs. So he had a lot of leverage there.
Yeah, and that mindset and then that fighting style works until it doesn't. Everybody's not going to go, and you better have something else that you can bring to the table.
Berlanga very proud of his Brooklyn roots, by the way. Wants to be like he named, you know, Zab Judah, Danny Jacobs, Mike Tyson, of course, also Riddick Bowe, Mark Breland. There's such a lineage of great fighters. They mentioned Floyd Patterson. I guess that's before his time. But great fighters coming out of Brooklyn.
The jab right there, stiff jab from Coceres that Berlanga felt.
Coceres already, you can see, with a veteran presence getting outlanded here, but it's 15 seconds to go in the first round, and there was never any point in this first round where you thought he was going, which is different for a Berlanga fight. Yeah, good right hand there by Berlanga, always dangerous, and that's round. Puerto Rican heritage as well, big on Tito Trinidad, and Berlanga has that type of supernatural power. We're going to go into a double box here and look at some of the...
I would love to see a little bit more head movement and upper body movement by Berlanga.
You know, it's funny, even though, as I said, look, 40. All right, so he fell short. Andre, he threw 26 jabs in the first round. That's a lot of jabs.
Yeah, they were all power jabs, too. That's the thing about Berlanga. He hasn't learned how to throw a flick jab or a setup jab. Everything he throws, including the jab, is powerful, like you just saw right there.
You know, if Deontay Wilder is throwing 26 jabs around, we're going to see a very good fight tonight.
That's just my guess.
Hard to hit Tyson Fury, but in the first fight, he was throwing that many. Here, it's round number 2, scheduled for 10. You see Marcelo Coceres out of Argentina in the red trunks. Edgar Berlanga out of Brooklyn in the white.
You're the veteran Coceres. You want to drag this fight into the mid and late rounds. You need to try to win some rounds. You need to try to hurt the young fighter, but you don't want to get caught with something in these first couple rounds.
Oh, all right, he can fight one round. It's okay.
It's the gift and the curse. It's a beautiful thing because you brought a lot of A-list celebrities to the table. They want to see him. Who is this kid getting on these first round knockouts? But you also don't get past that first round, so you don't know how you're going to respond.
That's a whistling combination. You know, when he digs in, he throws a 3-punch combination, you just go, whoa, look out.
And Berlanga doesn't even have to throw hard to land hard. That's how you know he's a real puncher.
That's it. In that fight against Nicholson, he's got 1 minute left to go in round 2. He knocked down Nicholson in rounds 2, 3, 5, and 8. At times where you just didn't expect it, suddenly the man would be down. Coceres much more cagier in this fight. You can see he lands a right hand off the jab, able to put out a nice stiff jab. Berlanga answers with his own. Able to slip that jab is Coceres. So Coceres, veteran guy. If you're winning rounds from Billy Joe Saunders, you can box. Coming in, boxing in is Berlanga. Very dangerous. Hooks with the right hand, and then throws it. Final 20 seconds.
Left hook right there from Coceres. Shot left hook.
Yeah.
Always danger lurking with Berlanga stalking. Final seconds of round number 2. Decent fight so far. Should pick up. Panchito Bajado, remember him?
Early on, yes.
And Max, I'm going to give you Gasolino Freitas. That's right, Max. I went Freitas on you. Guys who were just pure excitement. Look at it. Here, Berlanga, seemingly winning rounds, digs in with a beautiful hook. But those are fighters that you say, you know what? I will pay to watch this guy.
No matter what happens. Right, they win or lose.
Berlanga comes in with some good feints, but he's got to do a double feint sometimes. Because Coceres is, watching out for any feint that comes. He's just kind of tightening it up and preparing himself to get hit.
Berlanga goes to work there, nice combination. But Coceres, you can see what a veteran he is. Even scoring shots and landing on him hard, he's able to get out of danger and not look like he's panicked doing it.
Yeah, he's very calm under pressure. He's getting hit, but if you notice, the veterans are always looking for the young fighter to make a mistake so he can counter. And that's what Coceres is doing right now. He's weathering the storm. He takes some shots, he'll roll some shots, but watch his eyes because he's always looking up for Berlanga, waiting for him to make a mistake.
Coceres has decent power too, fellas. Just want to mention his last fight. He knocked out Nelson Rosales in the second round and knocked down with a hook, and then he knocked him out with a vicious left hook.
Coceres' movement is really good. It's really messing up Berlanga in a sense because Berlanga can't get that, him standing still so he can get that power shot off and release some good combinations. But the jab,
And 3 beautiful jabs, Lex. It's 3 in a row. Good stiff. Long jab.
Let me tell you what he's doing really good. He's stepping into the jab, so there's good power coming behind those jabs.
Good point, Lennox. Look, see the way he steps in right off that left foot, driving it home. You're right. So it's a hard. What's the hardest jab you ever felt, Lennox? You had a good jab that you could really be wearing out. Anybody you can remember?
I don't remember, no.
You had one of those.
Yes.
They had to worry about your jab.
Actually, when I hit myself with a jab.
You were your own worst enemy. Berlanga piling up the points here. Coceres lands a small right hand. It's a harder right hand for Coceres.
Part of this maturation game for Berlanga is not falling asleep when it looks like he's having his way because, once again, veterans are always looking for an opportunity.
Alex Lewis went at it with Biggs, Bruno, Morrison, Mercer, a lot of great Holyfield, Rockon, Tua, Tyson, Vitaly Klitschko. Anybody? Jab.
No, not a better one than mine.
It's a pretty good, field that you went through there, Lennox. Edgar Berlanga getting some good work here against the veteran Marcelo Coceres. We're back in Las Vegas right after this.
The jab, his elbow was kind of high a little bit. I was kind of.
That's Deontay Wilder. People know that. That's Deontay Wilder.
That was him.
Crazy. So what were you doing in a parking lot, showing him how to throw a jab?
We just met. We actually met coming from somewhere, and we talked for a little bit, and I said he's got a good jab, but it can be better.
He looks like such a nice young kid with Lennox. So deferential. What do I do now? Shit, like this. He's out there after church in his suit, throwing a jab.
That's some great footage.
13 years ago.
That's some great footage.
Round 4 here. Edgar Berlanga, Marcelo Coceres. And this is the longest that Berlanga has gone without a knockdown in any of his fights. Again, he had 16 straight first round knockouts. And then in his last fight, he had knockdowns in rounds 2, 3, 5, and 8.
As this fight wears on, you're going to see the veteran Coceres start to take a few more chances. When he sees, if he sees Berlanga start to slow down and start to breathe a little bit heavier, watch, he's going to stand there and start to sneak in some heavier shots.
Coceres gets popped with the right hand there, but he does move his head well. Getting ready for the main event, and I believe we have a Tyson Fury sighting. Heavyweight champion Berlanga gets Coceres in the corner. The heavyweight champion is on his way. See if Berlanga can make something happen here as Coceres just easily slides out the corner.
It's a dangerous spot for Coceres to be with a guy like Edgar Berlanga.
Motorcade is the word I was looking for. The motorcade is underway. The eagle is flying. Heavyweight champion Tyson Fury defending against Deontay Wilder. Deontay walks first this time. He's not used to that. Imagine that he's not defending.
Yeah.
Challenging.
I became champion. I never wanted to give up that right. I never wanted to be in the ring waiting for another guy to take his time to get there.
You managed to do that, Andre.
Yeah, thankfully.
Nice right hand by Coceres.
Well, those chances that I was talking about that Coceres is going to start trying to take.
And there's a right hand to the body from Coceres as well, starting to land. And in different ways. Nice hook off the jab and doubles up on the hook.
Like I said, Berlanga needs to move his upper body a little bit more.
And now we get to see a bit of a test. Again, Berlanga in his last fight against Devon Nicholson was tested, certainly, but he was having success in almost every round. This fight's a little different. He could be piling up, winning every round. This is more competitive.
Coceres is trying to land a counter shot, fellas. He won.
Trying now to make something happen. We're through 4 rounds with Berlanga.
Take it, but they can also dish it. They want to see, I took your best shot, can you take mine? And that's what Coceres is trying to do. He wants to test Berlanga's chin.
Those were 2 scoring shots, hard scoring shots from Coceres. So he has shown veteran poise in this fight, making Berlanga stretch out. And now, Andre Ward, as you kind of predicted, mid-rounds, Coceres starts to have some real success. Early on, he was in there, but he wasn't winning rounds. That was a lot closer.
And I don't think he was trying to win rounds. He just wanted to feel the power.
Get Berlanga now in full screen, Marcelo Coceres, and a decent fight. Coceres again, strong enough, sturdy, consistent, moves his head well, and he's poised, even under fire, able to survive these early rounds against the young phenom.
Berlanga landed a vicious left hook to the body at the end of the last round. Coceres should be happy that that bell sounded because he was hurt.
That's a hard hook as well, but Coceres answers immediately.
Yeah,
partially blocked, but he was able to fire back.
Right, but Berlanga's kind of, he found something in those body shots that he's letting both hands go. Coceres can't get hit with too many clean shots to the body like that.
Coceres, I was surprised he didn't get cut in half on that shot.
But he's tough though.
Big hook by Coceres.
Coceres is tough.
Fired that back beautifully. Berlanga being tested here for tonight. First time in his professional career.
And you can tell he's getting hit because he's getting marked up a little bit.
And a little desperate with those shots. That was a wild hook that missed. Again, Berlanga has got to, use his energy wisely here. Just missed there. And able to block that shot. Hook from Coceres.
Coceres is, moving around, like I said, well, he's on his toes. But Berlanga needs to be on his toes a little bit more. When a guy's moving on his toes and you're flat-footed, the guy that's moving around is a lot quicker.
But he's a puncher, letting you know that he wants to be flat-footed and generate as much power from his feet and his legs as possible.
Final seconds of round number 5. It has gotten more and more interesting. Marcelo Coceres of Argentina making the young man work and having some real success over the last 2 rounds. Look, he's got it skipping back to his corner. He's starting to feel it. And you see this beautiful hook, able to pop Berlanga. And we showed you the Berlanga family earlier. That's why I'm surprised. I thought, you're heavyweight champion. I thought they just kind of beamed you to the arena, like Star Trek. Like you have to take a car. How boring.
You get a flat tire.
Yeah.
What happens there?
You got the other 15 cars behind you that will pick you up. Round number 6, Edgar Berlanga, Marcelo Coceres, and Coceres now up on his toes, snapping out a double jab. Let's go to Bernardo Osuna. Bernardo, what do you have?
I just spoke with Mike Basil, who is a cut man for Edgar Berlanga. He's got a cut on the scalp above the left ear. He said it's not a big deal, but it's just something to think about and keep an eye on.
Rounds now becoming a little more exciting as Coceres up on his toes, boxing a little more, moving. Andre, is that desperation or is that tactics, or is he feeling a little better now?
I think Coceres feels like he's in a good space right now. He showed us that at the end of the round. He kind of danced away from Berlanga, said, yeah.
Edgar Berlanga, but that was a revelation right there for Coceres.
Coceres hit him with some good right hand. And this is what I'm saying about Berlanga. He's got to move that head. Can't keep that head.
Julian Williams, Vladimir Hernandez, where it looked all J-Rock in the first half of the fight. Hernandez did enough. Nice combinations there by Coceres. And Hernandez did enough to actually win the fight on the scorecards. So we've already had a bit of a surprise in what was an outstanding fight, and this fight has started to turn in surprise as well. Final seconds, 6th round. And Coceres is back in this fight. No question.
These are the shots that Coceres has been trying to load up with. He closed his eyes and threw. He almost hit a home run with that big shot right there. Berlanga felt very interesting.
I want to go to Larry Hazard if we can. Larry, how many rounds are you giving to Coceres so far?
Well, right now I've given Coceres 3 rounds. I gave him round 6, round 8, and round 9.
So you have it 6-3, and then with the knockdown, how close is it on your card then? But you have Berlanga can't lose his fight if he stays on his feet.
Well, I have Berlanga ahead by 2 points, 86-84.
So he's got to stay on his feet and he'll be fine. Otherwise, it's within striking distance, at least, according to Larry Hazard, what he has.
Trey, what would you be telling Berlanga in this last round?
Son, stay behind your jab. Get this round, win this round, but don't get too greedy because Coceres is dangerous. He'll close the show. You're telling him to be smart, but he also needs to take command.
There's that overhand right again. Yeah, Andre, I don't think you saw that right hand overhand right in that last round at all.
It was a great counter. I mean, you know, Coceres threw it from a weird angle that you wouldn't think he'd be able to get off that overhand right, but he did.
And look at Coceres in Rocky mode, that eye closed, and you're able to knock his man down. Hurt him at the end of that 9th round as well.
He didn't see the punch, and he also wasn't expecting the punch.
Yeah.
Berlanga needs to commit with the jab, let his combination go, and get out.
Halfway
Expect
through.
something coming back, and that's what he fails to do sometimes. He just thinks he's the only one that's punching, and his opponent is looking to land a shot as well.
He's used to that, Andre, you're right. That right hand landed from Berlanga, and Coceres continues to backpedal and move back. He's not going to win the fight that way. But he's able to counter. Maybe he's bringing him in, takes a body shot, eats a body shot.
I got it.
Well, this is learning the hard way. What did Sean Porter say earlier? More resistance than he needs. This was a bit more resistance than Edgar Berlanga needed.
I think it's just what he needed. I mean, it's time to step up and fight these kind of guys, overcome these kind of obstacles. I mean, this is the school of hard knocks. You can't linger around at that lower level anymore. It's time to make the step up. This is the right step up for Edgar Berlanga.
No, you're right. And it's a big learning process here tonight. He found himself tested, found himself on his...
I think Coceres can really see out of that right eye, and that's where I would tell Berlanga be throwing a combination and ending off with a left hook.
At some point, every young prospect / contender has to be appraised. You want to know what his chin is like, what his conditioning is like, how does he respond to adversity, and what happens when things aren't going his way.
Final 10 seconds of the final round. And a rough night for Edgar Berlanga. Again, piling up the points early on. It appears he's done enough, but he went down as Marcelo Coceres gave an outstanding professional effort against the young phenom here tonight. Again, all leading up to the pay-per-view.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. All 3 score the bout exactly the same, 96-93. All 3 in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, the chosen one, Edgar Berlanga.
Edgar Berlanga did enough to win that fight.